Good morning and good afternoon. My name is Li-Tsuei. I was born in Taiwan, and I have learned Taichi Quan and Qigong through different masters when I was young. And the most important thing is that I went to Europe in 1980s to study performing art with Jacques Lecoq and Marcel Marceau and Etienne de Croo. So I'm a performing artist as well. That gave me a lot of opportunity to develop either the performing art and also combine with two different coaches and created my own style of theater. So I formed my theater, Xiong Orient Theater, in 2000 and has been performed in several places, both in Europe and Asia, Australia. So that also helped me to have more opportunity to see different situations and enrich my understanding with the movement. And so I would like to show the form of Taichi Quan that have been practiced, which came from the Yang style. But my great master is Master Sun Lutang, who was the master of Ba Gua Zhang and Xing Yi Quan. So it's quite different that when he saw the Taichi Quan at that time, I think in the early 20th centuries, and he imagined that three styles could mix together, become a new Taichi. So now I practice the Sun style Taichi. So I would just like to show a very short. 好，然后仰面血体要好，一落，一起，二落，悬丝。 二起，三落，三起。 转右脚，降，好，随后，转左脚弓，伸，放松，降。 左手放腰，前起，右手放 转右脚，降，升，来去尾。左靠2次手，收右脚3次手，收，降。转左脚尖，右脚尖，旋反拳，单边。And that's the first section of this form of Taichi Chuan. And altogether, they are 108 styles, so movements. So it would take more than half an hour to finish the whole form. So apart from performance, I've been developed the traditional well-being of Chinese culture that's to do with qi. And in the daily life, we drink tea. So at the same time, I would like to share with you about this tea culture. First, I would like to recite a poem of the poet Li-Tsuei, who also a great tea drinker in Song Dynasty. It was about 750, 100 years ago. So the poem is, the first bowl moistens lips and throat. The second bowl breaks the loneliness. The third bowl searches my barren entrails, but to find therein some 5,000 scrolls. The fourth bowl raises a slight perspiration. All life's iniquities pass out through my pores. The fifth bowl purified my flesh and bones. The sixth bowl coats me to immortals. The seven bowls could not be drunk. Only a breath of cool wind raises my sleeves. Okay, so that's the different layers of drinking tea. And that's also the idea for Chinese, that tea is not only for quench our thirst, but also to solving our depression and waking our inspiration, solving our frustrations, and the refreshing our circulation give us help and health, and further that can really help us to raising our spiritual conscious and to unify us with the universe together. So that's the idea, Chinese culture, to do with the tea. And for me, few thousand years later, the same. So tea actually hasn't changed as a plant. And when it grows, you see the tea leaves is like this and reach to the sky and get all the energy from cosmos. And underneath, the roots really goes stretching out and grab all the energy of the earth that's sending to the top. It's like a human. We reach constantly to the top, but our feet are always on earth and rooted very deeply by practicing. And that's how I see our human physical body could grow like a tree. But inside, there's a lot of wonderful elements that can share with outside world to interact with outside world. Yeah. And what do you think about good tea could be? Because it's very important. When we drink tea, we have to choose a good tea.
Well, I've been very privileged to drink tea with you. When a certain tea is clean and well harvested and well grown,
yeah,
it naturally gives me a lot of energy and clarity. Very different to coffee.
Yeah.
Very different to coffee.
Okay.
Because you will have that energy boost.
Yeah.
But it's not forced, I feel.
Good.
Tea is not a forceful beverage.
Yeah.
It lifts you, but it also brings you clarity and peace at the same time.
Yeah, yeah, it's a great.
And from my own understanding, tea was first drunk by the monks in the monasteries for meditation, so that they don't fall asleep.
Oh, sorry.
But it also doesn't affect the quality of meditation.
Yeah.
This is my understanding.
Yeah. Okay. You see, it's a younger generation, and they start to grow for the tea. And so generation by generations, we give these ideas of drinking tea that comes from the family, that come from, the practitioners of Buddhist, Taoist, and the farmers, and the businessmen. And so tea is all over in the society and in our everyday life. To have a good tea, also, we have to choose good water, and good water with right temperature. And we need to trust the farmers that grows clean and good tea, and to take care of our Mother Earth. So the soil has been very, very important, has to be organic, and has to be well looked after. And when the climate has changed, not as we wish, but we have to know in the front of the date for picking the tea or later. So that's to do with our choice. So that we have different kinds of tea, different flavors of tea. So we use teas for everything in our life. And also with the tea, we can go to different layers of thoughts. And that can certainly help us to calm and to relax and to imagine. Yeah, because tea will give a lot of imaginations, inspirations, and also for digesting food. It's in the physical layers and the inner layers, spiritual layers, the tea has done all of that for us. And that's why as a Chinese, we really love tea for all these years, and we keep on developing it. And that helped me also for my theater and the movement. So all the actors in my theater company, when we are practicing or rehearse, we all drink tea together to start with. And when we have a break, we drink teas. And I found that's a really good gathering for us to talk about what we think and to view ourselves. And also for movement. When we start to understand tea, we understand this plant. And the same as us, alive on earth, how do we need? How do we think? How do we grow and develop? So that gives us certainly not only the explanations of words, but the inner intimities that help us to grow certain warmth and the balance, the calmness and the peacefulness. I would say through movement of Taichi and the tea together, that's a special culture and art of qi in Chinese tradition that has been spreading out in our lifestyle.